Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This video we're going to be talking about an important thing, which is the first step. What is it that you need as an analyst? Is it going to be a university degree or is it going to be an online course? We've spoken about this before, but I received another comment about it and I thought maybe it's worth reiterating. First thing that's needed, university degree, or the first thing that's going to be needed is going to be the online courses. They're all good, they're all bad, or they're not bad, but they're all good for different purposes. So let's not try to take one medicine and then do it for another disease, but let's talk about this. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you haven't, please subscribe. My name is Lisema Matsietsi. It's worth re-mentioning so many times. If you have not, you are new to the channel, please consider watching a few more videos. If you like them, consider staying by subscribing, hitting the bell button and hitting the notifications button. This week we're talking about the crossroad that most analysts are going through. You just decided that you're going to call yourself an analyst, but maybe the community around you still doesn't see you as an analyst. They just see you maybe as a clerk or maybe a data person or the administrator, but you really want to transition into something called whatever in the analyst space. Could be strategy analyst, could be financial analyst, could be a business analyst, could be whatever software analyst or system analyst. So you just want to now transition into that case, and then now you are between a rock and a hard place. You are considering your time. You're saying it might take me 5 years, 6 years to go through this route. What is the quickest way to get there? Because we all like short. I don't know about you. I would always look at what's the quickest way to a point. Even if I'm driving to the nearest, the place that I know, I'll always put on the navigation to see how the traffic looks like. That I can estimate 20 minutes I'll be there in and out type of a thing. If you're like me, I would want to watch this video if I was at that crossroad. Let's discuss two things. The first one we're going to be discussing is the online courses. If you don't know what the online courses is, you can go into LinkedIn, which is the simplest one, and you can think about anything else that you would like to learn. There is a course for that. But as much as LinkedIn is quite convenient for professionals like you and I, some of the courses are not free. So because you need to be verified. If you work for an organization like I am, your organization might actually allow you to go into LinkedIn and then do whatever courses that you want. If you're fortunate, please use that opportunity by going into LinkedIn, Coursera, you name them, and get yourself one of those. For instance, you went in and you found out there's a course here that you want about how to become, let's say for instance, a strategy analyst. You do a course, within a day or two, you have a certificate is there on your LinkedIn profile. Do you now consider yourself an analyst? Strategy analyst in that case? It depends. The LinkedIn courses, as far as I'm concerned, are for people in the field who just need to refresh themselves about one or two keys that are there. They are not into some of them could actually, more especially like the Excel one, they go into detail to Excel, and it's for that reason, because Excel, most of it you don't get. Maybe some places it's still there, but we don't get an Excel organizations anymore that you can go get accredited into the Excel thinking. Hence why places like LinkedIn becomes the best place for us to say, if you did Excel and you got a certificate in Excel in there, you are good. But in terms of serving as a strategy analyst, we would want somebody else who already understands strategy. Maybe you did strategy management, you have a BCom or honors in strategy management, and then you only go into LinkedIn only to find out maybe a methodology that they are using within there. I nearly said the safe one. The easiest one is like SAFE, which is for project managers or business analysts. Could go in and do a SAFE training or SAFE certificate. They can get it whichever way that they can get. It doesn't mean that once you have SAFE, now you are a business analyst or a project manager, but it assists project managers to get there. So my caution to you is, when you go for online certificates, yes, it might be the certificates that most strategy analysts are required to acquire, but it is so for a reason. It might be ideal for people who are already in the field. As a starting analyst, I would say very caution on that side. Know where can you start, where can you not start. We're going to make another video where we're going to talk about, especially the ones that are analysts that are working with data. What is the steps that I would recommend I would redo in order for me to become an analyst again. So that one we'll just put it on the side, and then we'll also invite 1 or 2 people who are in the field and then also went to the online side and they found success. Like my friend Brandon Mukwena was already working, and then he just went online and he did a few online things, and his career just boomed from there. The online courses are there for a reason. Understand what the reason is. Second one is you going in and you registering to get a degree, PhD, masters, you name it, honors, you name it. That one is also a safer one, because in that case, remember, in this world we work with trust. Unlike the online, you do it on your own in your basement, in your garage type of training. This one, you have people, human beings like me, flesh and bones, that says, yes, I know Lisema Matsietsi. He was there, he was late in our project, his handwriting is neat, he smells good, you know, all of those things. He's always early. That when you do your degree, you are able to have people like that. So for that case, when you say I have a master's in whatever, or I have a BCom in whatever, or a MSc or whatever they call it, a degree in this chemistry, in this field, already the person on the other side already says, oh, this person already attended with like-minded people, and it's easier to get referencing. And in that case, then it helps you out that the degree itself, or the degree itself, just you producing it, already tells about what type of a person you are. You are able to work where there is, you know, confusion, noise, and stuff like that. The online one might just say you are the person who is self-driven, but it all depends on what the purpose of that is. Varsity one, you can go, you do it 3 years, 4 years, whatever long it is. Does it mean you become an analyst once you get out of it? No, it does not also mean that you become an analyst. But what it means is you are able to acquire a broader spec of knowledge that you need to become an analyst. Because a university degree just doesn't focus on, say for instance, Tableau, for instance. It focuses on the Tableau, which is the tool, might be the last portion as well as your assignment, but the methodologies around it might be there. What I suggest is reach out to somebody else who's already an analyst, that you understand the language, or you understand, or that person is very close to you. Chat with them and say, listen, for you to get there, how does your day-to-day look like? They will tell you, my day-to-day looks like this is what I have to go through on a daily basis. And then from there, then you can decide, do I see myself doing this? Once you see yourself doing that, then I would say, okay, just go for the long route. Don't take the shortcut. It's easier to do the online one, but as a starting person, to show that you are committed for a long route, start with a degree. I know some of the advices that I'm giving here is people who are at the crossroads to say, which major should I take? Start with a degree, shows that you're committed for a long route. But as you are doing that, there's another leg that I would say would probably make you an analyst, is to reach out and start doing real life projects. Real life project could have been, you know, you helping out small businesses to, you know, demist something, or you helping out whatever you're helping out in. And in that case, when you get your degree in 3 years or in 4 years, and then you put it in with the weight of you were helping out a small business to do stock taking, that together now can make you an analyst. You can do the same with the online courses. Here in South Africa, where we still value the degree more than the online courses, because of the weight that you put onto the degree as a starting person. As a starting, you know, like from you have no university experience, you have no work experience, you have nothing. Starting, I would say, consider going to university and you do it yourself, and then you become an analyst. If you're already in the field, you already have an honors in, say for instance, mechanical engineering, or whatever the case is, and you just want to transition to work for maybe to move into corporate, move from you know, type of one industry to another, I would then say consider the online degree, the online certificates. In that case, they can help you out, and in your current role, you can say, oh, hang on a second, I was asked to manage 5 people, and then I would, you know, send out, you know, 1 or 2 things. But in this case, after I've done this certificate, I'm able to do the PowerPoint presentation myself with the numbers, and I'm able to analyze. Then that's how you start slowly. And then what you do is you reduce what you don't want, you amplify what you want. Before you know it, you can transition easily into becoming an analyst. So that's just how I look at it. Don't just start and say, just because I've done the online, it makes me an analyst. Just because I've done the degree makes me an analyst. It's the mix and match, and it all depends on what industry you are in. For me, on my side, I'm gonna reiterate my story. I started in finance. I did become finance. I was an accountant for my brother's business, and I found a job within a bank where I was a financial administrator. And then within a few months, they moved it to be an assistant financial officer. And it was there that I fell in love with finance, MIS, that's what they used to call it. And then I went back and I did a degree in IT. And then after I've done the degree in IT, before I even gotten my degree, I already went in to become activity-based costing specialist. You would know, for those that are doing cost management, activity-based costing is the nitty-gritty of it. And I was the guy who was helping them build the models, which was the analyst in activity-based costing. So that's how much it took me to make the transition. So it just didn't happen overnight that boom, I'm already transitioning to analyst. It actually took some time. And once I was from activity-based costing, all the other work afterwards has always been stuck in being an analyst. So I've been an analyst for quite a long time, but for me to jump into being an analyst, it took me, some commitment. I had to show people that I'm here to stay, and that's when I totally made the transition. And I would totally recommend anybody else to do exactly the same thing. Show people that you are here for a long run. Disloyalty is the worst thing that anybody else would want, but staying there and saying, I'm here, I'm gonna be known for this thing, and I'm gonna be a master in it, shows people that you are really, really committed to it. That's me. Please consider subscribing if you like this advice. If you're still not sure, the next video, it will also be from me discussing other issues about analysis. You can watch that one, and maybe afterwards you can hit the subscription button below and hit the bell, and then also hit the like button, so that more people could actually reach this video. Thank you for coming to this video and watching it to the end. Cheers.